Hey everybody, it's ShadowStar here for my review of Doctor Who and Legends of the Sea Devils. We finally have an episode after several months, and it was alright. Honestly, that's all I can say about it is it was alright. I don't feel like there was anything that really pulled me into this one in particular. It wasn't bad, there were still enjoyable moments, all the characters were great and enjoyable, but to be fair, that's always been a highlight of the Chibnall era, is characters are enjoyable to be around. I will give one compliment, and that is the music. I rarely pay much attention to the music in the Chibnall era now that they've changed, but the music actually was pretty good. I love a mixture of the Chinese theme and the pirate theme and a bit of both, so that was a nice, interesting choice of music, and it was great to have it around. But yeah, the characters were all enjoyable. All the side pirate characters were fun and enjoyable. I don't know what's her name, and the pirate guy who was frozen in time. He was actually really enjoyable. I'm glad he was around. And then obviously he does the honorable sacrifice, and Dan of course was enjoyable. I do find it annoying they shoved him to the side a bit too much once again. But oh well, what are you gonna do? Dan's always getting pushed to the side. Also notice he's not present in the next time trailer, but he must be in it. He didn't depart in this episode, and neither did Yaz. Speaking of Yaz, they're still continuing that plot line from the previous episode where they're delving into relationship stuff. It's unclear whether that was the conclusion or whether they're going to continue it more, but there's only one episode left, and who knows what's going to happen. So, yeah. So they're still continuing the Yaz stuff, which I don't like. Some people don't like. I know some people do, but I've never. And to be fair, before anyone jumps on me, I don't care for it when it was Rose and 10 or any other combination either. It's got nothing to do with the gender. I just don't like when the Doctor and a companion do stuff like that. I do like the fact that the Doctor is at least trying to tell her it's not going to happen, but then they leave it a little open-ended, but yeah. And then you've got the Sea Devils, where, they were an interesting villain, and, it is fun because this is the first time the Sea Devils have appeared at all in modern Who. I think their last appearance was in the Third Doctor era, so it's been a very long time, so well done for bringing them back. I've seen them in their original story, but I can't remember what their plot was very much. But here, it turns out their plot was they're just Team Aqua. They want to flood the world and make it theirs because they're seafaring creatures. And you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. It makes more sense than when Team Aqua did it. So, you know what? I find that at least their plan made a lot of sense, and it was nice to have a one-off adventure. I did hear rumors originally this was going to be the regeneration story, which wouldn't have made sense. I don't know. There was literally no foreshadowing of regeneration, which kind of bothered me. It's odd that we just, dive into the next episode and all of a sudden we've got regeneration. Although we did have it at the end of Flux. I was kind of thinking that bit where the Doctor says, oh, I wish this could go on forever, and then she throws a stone. I wish for some reason, instead of it skipping along nicely, it just plops in the water, as if foreshadowing that it won't go on forever, especially since the first line in a trailer is nothing lasts forever. But yeah, honestly, I'm more hyped about that trailer than I am about this episode. So spoilers for the trailer. We have Daleks, Cyberman, The Master, Kate Stewart, and Ace and Tegan. Two classic companions who have not appeared since their original departures. Which is going to be interesting, because Ace never had a proper departure on screen. Now, I know that Big Finish and other stuff have given her several different examples of how she departed, so I wonder if it'll say how she departed. And if so, that'd become the most canonical answer. I know Big Finish is canon, but I'm really curious if Ace is ever going to mention what happened, because, yeah, we all know how her story didn't quite end, so yeah, I'm more interested in that trailer, but we have to wait until October, which is 6 months away. 6 months until the next episode, which still doesn't even have an episode name, by the way. So yeah, but all in all, this episode was alright. Like, it was nice. The characters were enjoyable. The villains were alright. Their plot at least made sense, but I wish they just did something. The sword fight scene with all of them was great. I'd say that was one of the highlights of the episode. That was really well done, actually. The direction in that was actually pretty good. So, that sword fight scene was great. The Sea Devils, I wish they'd just given them slightly more character other than, they hate... They're like Silurians in the water. They're just water Silurians. Except, it's like, oh my god, the Silurians are Team Magma and the Sea Devils are Team Aqua. That's all it basically is. But, oh well. So, yeah. But, the direction was nice. Like that scene where the TARDIS was underwater, that was really pretty. And the direction during the sword fight scene was pretty. So, it was an average episode and... it's okay. I think it only just feels a bit more of a letdown because it's a big gap between the previous episode and the next episode in real time. I think it's a case of, like, years down the line, if you're doing a binge watch, like I often do, this episode won't feel as weak when you're just binge watching it between, say, the Dalek episode and the next episode. It's sort of like how you've got Planet of the Dead in the David Tennant specials. It's a pretty good episode, and it's just, wedged between Series 4 and the crazy Waters of Mars and End of Time. It's a nice average episode before the craziness, and that's what it is. It just feels a bit more of a letdown because this is the only Doctor Who we're going to get until October. And that's something you've got to keep in mind is sometimes episodes can be impacted on how we feel from the outside, and try not to do that because all in all, I think it's an okay average episode, and sometimes it's nice to just have a normal average episode, and that's what this episode is. So, I enjoyed it. I'll give it an 8 out of 10, and that'll be that. But I'm super excited for that trailer. We have to wait a super very long time, and I'm really starting to be worried about an inconclusive regeneration. I don't know if they've cast the next Doctor, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if, say, I've said, maybe they've finished filming the special and then they can just stitch on the regeneration at the end once Russell casts the next Doctor. But, okay, they haven't announced the next Doctor, so... and we don't know when they're going to reveal it. I'm really worried they're not... If it is an inconclusive regeneration, I'm really worried we're not going to find out who the next Doctor is for a very long time. This could be a very bumpy next year or so, but I don't know. I really hate the idea of an inconclusive regeneration. That has only ever happened with the second Doctor, and it has never happened since. I don't know. It'll be... I don't want an inconclusive regeneration, but it looks like it's going to be. But at least we know if they're going to kind of do a fresh slate and wipe the board, who better to do it than Russell? He's done it before. So yeah, all in all, it's a nice episode. Anyway, I will see you next time for more Doctor Who reviews and other things as well. See you next time, guys.